afternoon, friends. I am Kate, and we have an hour of barre. Yay. I feel like it's been a very long time. I know it's only been, I missed last week, but feels like a very long time. So I'm super excited to work out with you. I just have one set of weights today. I'm using 3 pounds. If you want a second set of weights or a heavier set to go up as you want, absolutely go for it. I am just sticking with the small ones today. I also have a stool on hand that's really handy for balance, not 100% necessary, just really helpful. That's all you're gonna need. I sent you a link to the playlist if you wanna use it. You can just click on it and it'll pull up in Spotify, and we'll press play at the same time together. Make sure it's not on shuffle before you do it, and then we will press play in 3, 2, and press play. And then crucified extended child's pose on your mat. Toes together, knees wide, forehead down. Crawl your fingertips as far forward as you can. Grip the ground with your palms and pull your shoulders down your back. Press your forehead down and gently rock it from side to side, releasing tension, releasing pressure. And as you slow things down for just a moment, I need to deepen your breath. And I want you to think of something that you've been holding on to, something that does not serve you, but you've had a hard time letting go of. It can be something really small. It doesn't need to be anything huge, or it could be something really huge. Just know that it might take more than just one practice or one class to really let that thing go. Here's the thing. We walk through our lives holding on to these things, even when they don't serve us, and they kind of drag us down. And lately I have been all about just letting go of that stuff that isn't helping and isn't conducive to growth. So I want you to experiment with this today. And you pick this one thing, no matter how small it is, and for 1 hour you practice letting it go. You don't think about it, and if it does come up, you simply let it sit there with you, but don't pay it any attention. Now flip your palms upwards towards the sky. I invite you here, as your intention for practice, to be letting go of this thing that does not serve you. So you see it clearly in your mind, and you push all of the air out of your lungs. And then you take a deep breath in and fill all the way up. And with a great big open mouth exhale, you send it out. For 1 hour, you don't need that thing anymore. Bring your palms back to your mat. Maybe give your forehead another little rock from side to side. And if you are ready to move, come forward into tabletop. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Spread your fingers wide and lift out of your shoulders. Engage your core right away, navel in and up, ribs together, and don't let that go throughout our entire practice. Now close your eyes and begin to move. It could be cat and cow. It could be barrel rolls out to the side. It could be anything at all. There are no wrong movements. But with your eyes closed, you start to feel things a little more acutely in your body. And even if you're alone, you tend to be less self-conscious about what these movements look like, and you start to free yourself up a little. All right, now come into a downward facing dog and continue the same thing. So lift your hips. With your eyes closed, move. It can be pedaling your feet, rolling out your ankles, but now you're getting into your lower limbs. And now I want you to find stillness in your downward facing dog. Press your chest towards your thighs, soften your knees, and let your heels fall towards the mat. Take a full body inhale. Fill all the way up. Take a great big open mouth exhale. Let it all go. Good. Inhale, stretch your right toes high. Exhale, bend your knee and open through your hip. You can stay just like this, or you can take some big circles with your knee to find more mobility. Then stretch your right toes high, close your hip, take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and hold. Carve out your belly. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Tuck your tailbone and push into your left toes. Bring your heel over the ball mount of your foot. Pull your forehead closer towards your knee and try to lift out of your shoulders again. Now, you feel how strong this is in your body. I want you to feel this every single time you pass through this movement. Inhale, stretch your toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, bring your body weight forward. Do it one more time. Inhale, toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, and then low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. Lengthen your right leg as much as you can. It might mean coming to your fingertips or even using your weight heads to bring the floor closer to you. And then from here, put a deep bend in your knee. Come down and do a big lunge. And then press your hips back and lengthen your legs. And here you move. You bend and stretch and bend and stretch. And if you want more, you can flex your right foot back as your hips come back. You're working to keep your spine as long as you can here, chest forward. And now come down into your lunge. Set your left knee to the mat. Inhale, crescent moon. Bring your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, find a tiny little back bend. You can bend your elbows if it feels right. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and sink forward until you feel the stretch in the front of your left thigh. And inhale, arms high. Exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Toe heel the right foot out, and it's a modified runner's lunge. And again, you can hold and stretch or move around, whatever feels best to you. All right. Now, if you are not on your palms, come back to them. Curl your back toes underneath, lift your knee. Inhale, stretch your toes high. Exhale to downward facing dog. Give your feet a little pedal. All right, inhale, left foot high. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip. You can take some big circles here if it feels good in your body. And then stretch your toes up, close your hips, take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Carve out your belly, make it as strong as you can. You push as hard as you can into your right toes. You press more weight into your fingertips, lessen the heel of your hands. Pull your navel in and out, pull your ribs in, make that core lock tight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, pull your forehead closer in. Now make it this strong every single time. Inhale, toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, bring it forward. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, carve it out and lunge, step it down. Lengthen your left leg. Straighten out your spine as much as you can. And here we move. Bend and stretch and bend and stretch. Every time I do this, I always think bend and snap, like from Legally Blonde. And it's really hard not to start singing, because if you've ever seen a Legally Blonde musical, it's absolutely ridiculous, but also so much fun. Guilty pleasure right there. Okay, now come down into your lunge. Set your right knee down to the earth. Inhale, crescent moon, arms overhead. Exhale, find a tiny little back bend. Lift your chest, draw your shoulders back, lift your chin. Feel that great big stretch in your right hip and thigh. Good, inhale, arms high. Exhale, palms to the inside of your left foot, toe heel the left foot out. Move around, hold still, whatever you need on this hip. Good. All right. Now, if you are not on your palms, come to your palms. Curl your right toes under, lift your knee. Inhale, stretch your toes high. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Give your feet a quick little pedal. And from here, come forward into a high plank and hold. Shoulders over wrists, heels over the bones of your feet, hip bones up and in. So from your heels to the crown of your head, one long line of energy. Bring your gaze to the top edge of your mat. Push into your fingertips, into your knuckles, lift off of the ground. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. You got it. Here for 4, 3. Down dog in 2. And lift your hips. Now step your feet forward. Have a seat. Come on down. We're going to do some belly up core work. We're going to spend a little more time on the floor to start today. I want you to roll all the way down to your back, all the way down. And then it's Supine Konasana. Soles of your feet together, knees wide, or cobbler's pose on your back. Tuck your hip bones up and in, so you're scooping your pelvis and you feel your lower back press more firmly into the floor. Now, bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, and then rest your head back on the ground. Now, here, your elbows are open really wide. When we start to work, I don't want you to pull your elbows into your face. Concentrate on keeping them as wide as they are right now. Now, pull your belly button towards the floor. Keep the pelvis scooped. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your shoulders up off of the ground. Keep your head heavy in your hands. So you're not pulling your chin into your chest. You're lifting. Head is still heavy in your hands and your nose is reaching up towards the ceiling. Now here, lift your knees towards your elbows. Keep your feet connected. Now, you'll get to a point where you can't go any further without lifting your hips. So now try lifting your hips and maybe even make a connection of elbows and knees. If not, it doesn't matter, but I want you to squeeze as much as you can. So shoulders and hips are both lifted. Now as you inhale, come back down. Press your lower back into the floor. Maybe you tap the floor with your toes. Exhale, lift and squeeze everything back up. Those are your movements. Inhales lower as you open. Exhale, squeeze to the top and close. Inhale and exhale. Remember, no pulling on your head. That's not good for your neck. Move with your breath as fast or as slow as you need to go. Remember, inhales open and exhales always are that closing motion. If lifting your shoulders and hips at the same time does not feel good, you can choose one or the other. You can keep your feet grounded and just lift and lower your upper body. That's going to focus on your upper abs. You could keep your shoulders down and lift your knees and hips. That's going to focus on your lower abs. Or you can continue to do both at the same time for the maximum amount of efforts and work and strength. We're almost there with this part. We have a whole lot of class to go. Here's 4, 3, only 2. Do it one more time, one more time. All right, now bring it down. I want you to bring your arms way out, bring your legs way out. So it's almost like you're getting ready to do a snow angel on the ground, right? You're making a big X shape with your body. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lift your right hand up, lift your left foot up. Now, here you're going to work to try and connect the two at the center. So shoulders lift as you try to reach towards your ankle bone or your toes, your foot, your shin, wherever you can reach as high as you can. Now bring it back down to that great big X shape. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your left hand up, lift your right foot up. And again, you'll try and reach up towards that foot. Here, I want you to bring more movement into your upper body. Don't bring your leg in as far as you can go. Really make your upper abs, upper obliques do the work. And now come back down, open up. Those are your movements. Take a deep breath in as you're open. Exhale, lift and squeeze to the top. Inhale, lower, open up. Exhale, opposite hand, opposite foot. Lower and lift, open and close. When you come down, your lower back is flat to the floor. Now, I love, love, love these big, huge core movements because you are utilizing everything in your core. Your core is not that front line of your abdomen that you see the most of, right? Core is everything from your shoulders down to your knees, in fact. Everything there is connected and it's all part of that core system. And so here, everything in your torso is working as you lift and squeeze and twist. Lowering your leg even takes a little more work, right? So utilizing everything in your body all at once so that you're strengthening multiple regions and also letting your body really talk to the different parts, right? Everything's got to work together. So we all have to learn how to communicate to make these things happen. Inhale as you open, exhale as you close. This one is 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time, one more time. All right, so from here, hands back behind your head, interlace your fingers. Bring one shin up, make it parallel to the ground, the knee bent about 90 degrees. Then do it with the other. Lower back, pressed down firmly into the floor, knees over hips. Lift your shoulders, keep your chin lifted and your nose reaching towards the ceiling rather than your thighs. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bicycle twist to the right. Twist to the right, extend your left leg out. Center, switch, center, switch. Your focus here, I want your first focus to be your neck. You're not pulling on it, right? Head is heavy in your hands. Elbows are as wide as you can make them. Second focus, knee over your hip, 90 degrees, not bringing your knee closer into your chest. It's tempting because it's less work for your body. And when we get tired or when we really get into these movements, sometimes we don't realize where our body actually is going. I want you to pay attention. Knee over hips, 90 degrees every time you're coming back through center. It's a very intentional movement and there's no rush. Oftentimes with core work, I think we go as fast as we can because we feel like if we go, we're going to get stronger faster. That's just simply not the case. If you slow it down, you might even notice it gets a little bit harder. Almost there. So good. Here's 4, 3, final 2. Get a long body stretch. Point your toes, reach overhead, take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Now, from here, you're coming up. So roll on up, bring your knees into your chest. Maybe you want to give a little rock side to side first. Roll on up. Now, find a boat pose to start. So hands out, flip your palms up, shoulders back, lean into it, no rounding your lower back. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. So your shoulders remain behind your hips. Your spine remains nice and long. Take your right hand, place it behind your head. Take your left hand, place it behind your head. Lift your right shin, make it parallel to the ground. Lift your left shin, make it parallel to the ground. You got it. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, upright bicycle twist to the right. Twist your torso to the right, extend your left leg out. Center, switch, center, switch. So you keep moving fast or as slow as you want to go. Don't pull your head forward. In fact, your fingertips are really just resting on the base of your skull here. Keep your elbows back. Keep your shoulder blades pulling together. You got it. So it's that same movement, but it may feel a little different in your body. You have to utilize a little more of your hip flexors here. Use a little more muscle in your lower back and along your spine since you're upright. So again, really getting a well-rounded core workout versus just focusing on that top layer. When you work all of these muscles together, you become more stable in your body through any movement that you're doing, exercise or not. It could just be reaching for something or carrying groceries. Everything starts to feel better in your body. Maybe not tomorrow, but give it like 3 days. It's going to feel way better, I swear. So good. Here's 4, 3, final 2. One more twist, one more twist. Come back to the center and hold. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Bring your hands forward, palms face up. Try to keep your shins lifted if you can. Take a full body inhale. Give a great big open mouth exhale. This is more work than my core has gotten in weeks, I think. One more deep breath in. Exhale, cross your ankles, plant your palms, step back to your high plank. Push into your toes, bring your heels over the ball mounds of your feet. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. You're here for 4, 3, all the way down, 2. All right, come down to your belly, all the way down. Palms underneath your shoulders. Press the top sides of your feet into the mat, enough to feel your kneecaps lift. Now don't let your feet lift. And find a baby cobra. Lift your chest. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Little to no weight in your hands, or maybe you want to lift your hands off the floor so you're not tempted to push into them. Make sure your ribs are still pulling together in that core lock so that you don't smush your liver. And then lower your chest down and lift your chest up. It's down and lift, down and lift. Squeeze your glutes and push your hip bones more firmly into the ground. Don't forget to breathe. I think that's the most common thing we do when we are working on our spine work, our spine muscles. We hold our breath because you're sitting on your belly and it's hard, right? Full body inhales and exhales because your body still needs oxygen even in these weird movements. Here's 4, 3, 2. All right, keep it lifted this time. Keep it up, keep it up. Lift your hands if they're not already lifted, and then extend your fingertips forward. Lift your legs, press the backside of your knees towards the ceiling so your legs are as long as you can make them. Point your toes. Now, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can and start to do a little swimmer here. So that swimming movement, we all know in real life this would not help you swim, right? You would definitely sink and drown. But I want you to kick your feet, small little kicks, and it's coming from within your glutes and your hips, so you're not bending your knees and kicking this way. Your whole leg is moving as one, and that is the idea there. Draw your shoulders away from your earlobes. Try to lengthen your neck. And don't spend too much energy trying to lift your head up. Kind of let it fall at a neutral angle here so your gaze is kind of down towards the floor. Good. Keep squeezing, keep breathing. Yes, you can. Here's 4, 3, come down, in 2. All right, bring it on down. Bring your chest to the floor. Give your hips a little shake. Take a deep breath. Let it go. All right, you have one more thing to do for your spine. Arms are forward. Now lift halfway up to your highest point with your upper body. So not all the way up quite yet, about halfway. And then do the same with your legs. It's about halfway. Now, push your left palm back behind you. And as you do that, you do lift everything all the way up as high as you can, legs and upper body. Bring it back to center. Come down to that halfway point. Push your right palm back. Lift everything up to its full length. Center, come down halfway. Left palm pushes. Center, right push, center, left push. Good. So now it's more like an actual swimming movement. You're not flutter kicking your feet, but that arm movement, it's that big push. And I want you to pretend that you're actually cutting through water as you do this. The idea is that you're creating more tension. You're creating that resistance to make your muscles grow stronger. Resist the urge to bend your knees and bring your heels in towards your seat as you do this. It does feel like you're getting a bigger range of motion, but you're not actually using more muscle, right? You use more muscle to keep your legs long and straight. So keep everything engaged. Pointing your toes is really helping with this too. It engages the muscles in the front of your legs, your quadriceps. You got it. You are almost there with this, I swear. Here's 4, 3, final 2. One more big push, one more big push. Bring it down. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Nice job. All right. Chin to center, hands under your shoulders. Push up to a modified plank this time. So that means you're on your knees, right? Shoulders over wrists. Press into your fingertips, hip bones up and in. No seats out behind, no hips falling to the ground here. Both of those are hard on your back and not going to do what we need them to do. So from your knees, through the crown of your head, one long line of energy. Bend your elbows straight back like you're coming down into chaturanga. Halfway down, elbows tight at your sides, and then push all the way back to the top. Here you go. Halfway down and push. Halfway down and push. Naturally, in this movement, your elbows want to go wider, and your shoulders want to curl forward. So push into your fingertips, pull your elbows in tight, and then draw your shoulders back. Like you're trying to pull your collarbones away from each other as you move. Just halfway down. Good. Here's 4, 3. Hold it low in 2. This time you hold it low. From right here, it's small. Up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Tiny lift, tiny lower. Keep your neck as long as you can. These tiny little movements, they get a little excruciating. Say hello to your triceps. So good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come to the top. Take a deep breath. Modified plank. Slowly exhale. Find your full range of motion. Get as low as you can to the ground. Elbows tight at your sides. Maybe your chest even taps the floor. Then push back up. Full range. Up and down. You are not here long. You can do this. There's only 4, 3, 2. Do one last big push, and then you can find a puppy dog pose. Give it that little stretch underneath your arms, shake your hips from side to side. All right, now come forward back into the modified plank, but then walk your hands out to about as wide as your mat. It'll be the wide arm push up from your knees to start. Same idea, halfway down and lift, halfway down and lift. And now your elbows can come wide, but watch your lower back, keep your hip bones up and in. So your entire body is moving here. From your knees through the crown of your head, you're lowering towards the ground and lifting. No butts up in the air, just the chest lifting and lowering. That does nothing for your body but strain your lower back. You got this. Don't forget to breathe. Here's 4, 3. Hold low in 2. All right, this one you're holding about halfway. Come up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. It's barre. Of course, we have to take small, excruciatingly tiny movements in our bodies. Press into your fingertips. Let your knuckles lift off of the ground just a tiny little bit. That will utilize more strength and pull it out of your wrists, right? Not less tension in the wrists, more arm strength. That's all good things. Keep your gaze at the top edge of your mat. Breathe. 4, 3, 2. All right, come all the way back to the top. Take a deep breath in. Give an open mouth exhale. Full range of motion. Here you go. Get as low as you can to the floor. Maybe you tap it with your chest and lift back up. All the way down. All the way up. So, so good. 4, 3, final 2, and a puppy dog pose when you're done. Give it another little wag from side to side. Nice work. Take a breath. Let it go. All right, we are making our way up. Come into a downward facing dog. Press your chest to your thighs. Give your feet a pedal if you like. Bring your gaze forward. Take a deep breath. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Grab your weights. Soften your knees and start to roll up to stand. One vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, you can shrug out your shoulders. All right, now weights are always optional. And again, you can switch out your weights, heavier, lighter as you want. It is your practice. I'm sticking with light ones and I may even set them down at some points. And that's okay. You got to give yourself permission to do it. All right, middle of your mat, feet together, and then pivot your toes out. So that V shape, first position. Start with your hands on your hips, just for now. Bend your knees. You want to check to make sure your knees are in line with your toes. And that your pelvis is scooped, so your tailbone is down, not sticking out behind you. You're not tilting forward. All right, this is called Demi Plie, when your knees are bent like this and your feet are grounded. Now stand back up and squeeze your thighs towards each other. Then bend your knees and squeeze to the top. Demi Plie and lift. Squeeze your glutes as you find this movement. Good. All right, and now we find goalposts with your arms. Now you're just holding them here. You're not going to move them quite yet. About 90 degrees, elbows towards shoulder height. Focus just on your legs. It's like you're sliding your back up and down a wall. If you notice that at any point you're tilting forward, I want you to make a smaller movement so that your pelvis is always underneath your shoulders. Now this is another movement where you have to create the resistance. You squeeze as hard as you can to stand up. Squeeze and lower. Good. Here's 4, 3, 2. Now I want you to bend your knees and hold. Press the knees back, scoop your pelvis, and find a little pulse with your arms. So now your legs are just going to build a little heat while you stand like this. Then you're going to build a little more heat in your upper body as well. Tiny little pushes up. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Good. Now circle forward. It's a tiny circle. It's like the size of a golf ball. Elbows stay at just about shoulder height, maybe just above or just below with your circle. But that's it. It's small. It's controlled. Draw the elbows back just slightly. Keep your arms open as wide as you can. Lift the crown of your head a little bit higher. Get a little lower in your hips. Build that heat. All right, now reverse the circles. Bring them to the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to help find this movement. Keep your wrists over your elbows. And if you notice that the weights are curling in or falling back, either adjust them so your knuckles are upright over your wrists, over the elbows, or set down the weights all together. Stay low in your legs. Here's 4, 3, 2, and hold. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Now, squeeze your elbows down to your sides. It's almost like a W with your hands, or with your arms, palms are forward. Squeeze it in. Squeeze your legs to stand back up. Lift your arms to 90 degrees. Bend, bring your elbows in. Lift, bring it to 90. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Good. So just the bottom half, and I want you to drag your elbows down. Squeeze them and push them and squeeze and push. Here's 4, 3, 2. All right, now hold it low. Bring the weights back to your hips or to 90 degrees if your arms are not too tired. Completely up to you. Now, from here, I want you to lift your heels up and set them down. Heels lift, lower, lift, lower. Now that lift could be a centimeter. It could be 3 inches. It's completely up to you. I want you to pick where it feels stable in your body. If you lift your heels and things are getting real shaky through your ankles, that's too high. I want you to be stable in your body. That's most important. When you lift your heels, your knees are going to push further out to the sides. Your whole body is not really moving up and down here because you're isolating in your legs. So good. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Give a great big open mouth exhale. Get a little bit lower as you find this movement. Here's 4, 3, 2. Hold your heels up. Take a deep breath. Get 1 inch lower in your hips. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. Get 1 inch lower. 4, 3, 2. Heels down. Stand up. Bring your arms back to 90 if they're not there. Now bend your knees. Demi Plie. This time when you lift, I want you to bring your heels up off of the ground into a calf raise. Heels come down. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs. Heels lift. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Good. Keep your upper body strong but solid. No movement there quite yet. Just focusing on the lower limbs. Squeeze your thighs as tightly together as you can. And this is another lift that doesn't need to be very high. It's whatever's feeling best in your body, whatever feels the most stable. You pick. It could be a centimeter, it could be 3 inches, but you're here for 4, 3, 2. 1 more rotation through. And set your heels down. Bend your knees. Push your weights all the way overhead and come down to 90. Push and pull. Push and pull. Stop the elbows at shoulder height. Don't go any lower. It's just that top half. You push and pull and push and pull. Keep your pelvis scooped. Keep your knees bent and your heels grounded. Here's 8, 7, 6, and 5. Almost there. Last 4, 3, 2. Hold at 90. Pulse your legs. So hold your arms solid and find that tiny little squeeze in your lower half. Your glutes, your butt cheeks are squeezing as tightly as they can. And while you squeeze your glutes, you press your knees back, making them as wide as you can. Deep breath in through your nose. Great big open mouth exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay low. Pulse your elbows. Tiny little lift. Good. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Get lower. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause at 90. Little circle forward. Lift your chin, lengthen your neck. Stay low in your hips. All right. I want that heat to stay. After this, we're setting weights down. Circle back. You got this. Keep it small. Keep it controlled. Just for 4, 3, 2, and you pause. Just hold. Breathe in through your nose. Give an open mouth exhale. Get 1 inch lower in your hips. Good. You're here for 4, 3, 2. All right. Stand up. You can set those weights aside. Now, you're going to take some bigger movements with your legs. Back to that same first position. Now with arms lifted, fingertips towards each other, elbows lifted at shoulder height. It's a very circular motion with your arms. Now, take your right foot, step it way out to the side, and bend your knees. So it's a second position. When you do, you want a wide stance. You want to be able to see your toes in front of your knees. That's just protecting your knees. All right, now push the floor away from you with your right foot and come back to first position. Bend your knees here. It's that same Demi Plie. Stand up. Left foot moves out to the side. Come down. Wide second position. Push the ground away with your left foot and come back to first. Demi Plie. Now, step the right foot out. Center. Step the left foot out. And center. Right foot. Plie. Left foot. Plie. You can choose to keep your arms just at center and focus on your legs if that helps. Or you can open and close them along with your leg. It's always up to you. Do you want more work for your arms or you just want to hold them solid? Left foot, center, right foot, center. Push the ground away. Squeeze your thighs back towards one another at the top. Open, close, open, close, you got it. So when you find this movement, it's gonna get your heart rate up just a little bit. That is the idea, but slow your breath down. When you control your breath, full body inhale and exhale, you're bringing peace and calm into your body. It's a yoga bar. We're still doing yoga here. We're just doing different movements with our body to challenge our breath. All right, now come out to wide second. It really doesn't matter which leg you're on. Just hold that wide second position. You can keep your arms lifted, circular in motion, or hands to your hips, whatever feels better. Now press your knees back, scoop your pelvis underneath, lift your heels up off of the ground, and set them down. Heels lift, lower, lift, and lower. You did this before in first position. Now you're doing it in second. So your whole body is not going up and down. You're isolating your legs. Up and down, up and down. It could be a centimeter. It could be 3 inches. Keep the pelvis scooped. Keep your shoulders directly over your hips. So good. You got it. 4, 3, final 2. All right, keep the heels lifted, but a little pulse in your hips. So a little lift and lower. Now your whole body does get to go up and down with your heels lifted, even if it's just a tiny little bit. Squeeze and squeeze. So it's not so much a bounce in your joints, but a squeeze of muscle, like a tiny little contraction, pulling everything in and up. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Get lower in your hips. You got it. Keep squeezing. 4, 3, hold low, into, hold it low, breathe in, breathe out, get 1 inch lower, heels down and lift, you got it. If your legs are starting to get quivery and shaky, you're doing it right. That is the idea. If not, get lower in your hips. Press the knees back, scoop your pelvis, lift your chest, but get lower in your hips. So good. 4, 3, 2, heels come down. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out, full range of motion. Get as low as you can. Grand plie, stand back to the top. Grand plie and up. Grand plie and up. It's like an active stretch after all the little movements. It feels pretty good. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. 4, 3, 2. All right, last one. Now I need to pivot forward so that your right foot is forward and your left foot is back. Depending which way you were facing, you might have to switch things around, right? Right leg forward, left leg back. It's a lunge positioning of your body, shoulders over hips, hands to your hips or behind your head. If you want, you can bring a stool over to your right side to place your hand on if you need the balance. Know that widening your stance, bringing your feet into 2 separate lanes versus closer together will also help balance here. Bend your knee, get down as low as you can into your lunge position and stand back up. Lunge, lift, lunge, lift. So you start with that full range, just to get a feel for it in your body. You only have 3 and 2, and now you have to hold it low. You find a little pulse, tiny little lift and lower. Bring your shoulders back over your hips. Make you really feel your left quadricep, front of your left thigh, build the heat. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Get a little bit lower, keep pulsing. Here's 4, 3, stay low in 2, stay low, lift your right heel up, then set it down. Heel lift, lower, lift, and lower. You are isolating. Not everything in your body is moving up and down. You stay as low as you can while that right heel comes up. It could be a centimeter. It could be 3 inches, but keep your left knee as low as you can. Keep the knee under your hip. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Here's 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Full body inhale. Full body exhale, 1 inch lower. Okay, set your heel down, stand up. Open to the side again. Grand plie and stretch. Grand plie and stretch. Nice job. All right, 2 more here. And then you're gonna flip around to the other side and do that with your left leg forward. Hands to your hips, that lunge position. Bend your knees, get all the way down as low as you can, and stand back up. Lunge, up, lunge, and up. 4, 3, 2, hold it low, find a little pulse. It almost feels like your shoulders are leaning back here, but that's just because naturally we're tired. We start to come forward, right? So staying upright, really important. Tiny squeeze. Keep that right knee under your hip. Keep your right heel over the ball mound of your foot. Deep breath in. Get a little bit lower as you exhale. 4, 3, 2, hold it low, lift the last heel up off of the ground and set it down. Heel lift, and lower. You can always set your hand on a chair for balance. You can always widen your stance for balance. Remember those things. Isolating through that left leg and glute. Your whole body does not go up and down. Almost there. Just do 4, 3, hold it up in 2. Hold your heel up and get an inch lower in your hips. Full body inhale. Full body exhale, 1 inch lower. 4, 3, 2, nice job. Heel down, stand up, flip open to the side, grand plie, work it out of your body. Nice job. All right, just do 2 more like this. All right, now I need to stand all the way up. I do want your stool, if you're using it, a little closer to you in front, okay? And if you don't have a stool, if you're not using one, that's totally fine. Good for you. You have amazing balance. First position, facing your stool if you're using it. Just the calf raise to start. Heels lift and lower. So when you come to your calf raise, I want you to pay attention to what's happening in your body. If you come to the very highest point that you can be, you're really just balancing on the ball bones of your feet. Tendons and ligaments start to strain, but the muscles don't really work that hard. So I want you to go a little bit below your highest point. Then the muscles in your ankles and your feet are really working on strengthening versus just straining the other parts of your body. It's straight up and down. If you want a little extra challenge, maybe you lift your arms up. That same rounded shape with your elbows lifted, maybe arms overhead like a real ballerina. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, set your heels down. Grand plie in first. You bend your knees and come all the way down. Look at your legs. Knees in line with toes. Tailbone pointed at the ground, never out behind you. That might mean you only come down part way. That's okay. At your lowest point, heels are lifted off of the floor. They're not still connected. As you stand back up, your heels will come down before you come to the top to push into to lift, all right? It's down for 4 counts, up for 4 counts. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out from the top. Here we go. Down. 2, 3, and 4. Lift it up for 4, 3. Heels down, 2. Now you're at the top. Do it again. Down. 2, 3, and 4. And you lift. 2, 3, and 4. Again, down. 2, lift your chin. 3, and 4. Lift it up. 4, 3. Squeeze your thighs. 2. You're at the top. One more time. Here you go. Down. 2. Heels lift. 3, and 4. Lift it up for 4, 3, 2. You're at the top. Nice job. Take a breath. Let it go. 2 counts down, 2 counts up. Keep your spine nice and long. Ready? Great. Here we go. Down. 2. Lift for 2. Bring it down. 2. Lift. 2. Lower. Lift. Heels come up. Heels press down. You got it. Down. Up. 3 more. Bring it low. Squeeze your thighs at the top. 2 more. Last time like that. Down, lift. Nice job. Now, come about halfway to the floor. Lift your heels up, slide them together to touch. Just the top half from here. Squeeze your thighs to stand up. Bend your knees, come halfway down. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Slide your back up and down the wall. Demi plie, right? It's just half of that movement you're doing with your heels up and squeezing tightly. If your heels just rest together, your inner thighs and your hamstrings really don't work much. When you press them together, all of a sudden everything activates, and that's what you're going for here. Squeeze it tight. Press your knees back as they bend. By scooping your pelvis underneath you, you're taking out strain from your lower back and simultaneously strengthening your lower abdomen. Awesome, right? Just do 4, 3, 2, hold it low, squeeze your heels together, press your knees back, scoop your pelvis from right here, come down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Those tiny, tiny, excruciatingly small squeezes. Keep your knees in line with your toes, keep your neck as long as you can. So strong. This class flew by. You were so close, I had no idea. So that's good news, maybe. All right, deep breath in, slow breath out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, now I want you to bend. Keep it low, keep it low. I know it's hard. Now squeeze your knees towards each other, using your inner thighs, using your hip flexors, using your lower abdomen. You squeeze, and now relax. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. Your legs are the only thing that move here, even though your whole body kind of wants to get into it. It's like the funky chicken dance, but we're not doing the funky chicken dance. You're just squeezing your legs. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse that motion. Press your knees back, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can, then relax, your knees come in a little. Press back, relax, back, relax. Now it works the outside of your glutes and hips. That tiny little divot behind your hip bone, kind of on the side of your seat. In that little divot, keep going, is what is called your piriformis. And the piriformis really stabilizes your hips, very important. But it also gets really tight really quick, which causes issues. So as you're doing this, you're going to start to feel it tighten up. We're going to stretch it out today. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about it. But if it feels like a Charlie horse, please stop, because I don't want you to get to that point. Here's 4, 3, 2, hold your knees back, take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out, set your heels down to the ground, lengthen your legs, grand plie, 8 counts to the floor, 8 counts up. It's so slow. Yes, you can. It's 8, 7, 6, and 5. You're halfway. 4, 3, go slow. 2, you're at the bottom. Now going up, it's gonna feel slower, okay? It's excruciatingly slow. You got this. Here we go. It's 8, 7, 6, 5. Heels come down. Here's 4, 3, last 2. Squeeze together at the top. Again, bring it down. 2, 3, 4. Just 5, 6. Yes, you can. 7 and 8. Lift it up for 8, 7, 6, and 5. Final 4, 3, 2. You're at the top. Squeeze it together. Nice job. Bend your knees. Lift your heels. Set them down. Heels lift, lower, lift, lower. You've done this before. Knees are pressing further out. Pelvis stays scooped. And your legs are starting to feel like they're going to fall off your body. There are worse things, okay? And if it feels like jello, you're doing it right. You're going to burn out these muscles before we stretch. Push and push. Stay low. Use your breath. The deeper you breathe, the more oxygen your muscles are getting, the better it will feel. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, keep the heels up, find a pulse with your hips, little lift and lower, your whole body gets to move, up and down, scoop your pelvis. 8, 7, 6, and 5, so good, 4, 3, 2, heels come down, Demi Plie, stretch, Demi Plie, and stretch. Now, don't wuss out on me yet. Keep it strong. Pull your legs in. Use control. 4, 3, keep it low in 2. Keep it low. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Get 1 inch lower. Inhale. Exhale, get 1 inch lower. Lift your heels up. Inhale. Exhale, get 1 inch lower with your hips. You're here for 4, 3, 2. All right, set your heels down, stand up. Wide second position. If you have to scoot your stool, you can absolutely do it. Grand plie. All the way down, all the way up. Let it feel good. Here's where we start to cool down a little bit. You're going to start with active stretch, right? So using these big movements to help relax all those tiny clenching movements. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through an open mouth. Just do 4, 3, 2, 1 last time. All right, now get low into your hips. You can move around a little side to side to settle in if you want. Hands come to your inner thighs, and you dip your right shoulder down as you press your knees back. That feels divine. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. Switch it out. Drop your left shoulder down. Keep pushing back with your knees. Think of inhales creating space. Exhales letting go of those things that do not serve you. All right, come back to the center. Bring your arms all the way overhead. It's like star pose. You can full body inhale. Exhale. Bring your arms out to a T. Pivot your toes in. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, Prasarita, wide-legged fold. Hinge from your hips. Flatten your back as you come down. And then find a little movement. You could bend your knees, coming from side to side. You could bend both knees at the same time, getting into your hips, your hamstrings if that feels good. And now I want you to settle into Prasarita, hanging your head heavy, letting your body kind of fall forward. You're tipping weight into your toes. Your heels feel like they could lift off the ground. Inhales create space between each vertebrae and your spine. Exhales decrease the space between your chest and your thighs. Resist the urge to look forward. Your gaze falls behind you so your head can be nice and heavy, releasing any strain in your neck. And then lift your chest, come to about halfway. Walk your hands over to the right. Plant your left foot near your right foot and lift your right hand into the air. Find a twist. And walk your hands through center over to the left. Right foot plants near the left foot as your left hand lifts in the air. Good. And then walk your hands back to the center. Put a deep bend in your right and come down towards the floor. Flip your left toes up towards the seat. This is like Skandasana in yoga. Press your right knee open. Point your tailbone more at the ground. You can use weights too if you need to bring the floor closer to you to lean on. Just be mindful that you're not hyperextending through your left knee. Tiny little bend, but flex your toes back towards your shin. So you're getting that stretch in your left hamstring. And then walk your hands through center, bend your left knee. Lengthen your right leg and point your right toes up at the ceiling. Put a little tiny bend to your right knee so that you're not hurting the joint, but enough of a straight leg that you feel that stretch on the underside of your leg. The more that you can lengthen your spine coming upright, also the more you're going to open through your hips. Good. Now walk it back through center. Bring your toes in so your feet are parallel. Slowly rise all the way back up to star. Take a full body inhale. Exhale. Release your arms down. All right, step your feet in. Sweep your arms overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean over to the right. Feel that big pull under your left arm and bring your gaze underneath it. So you're creating space between your left hip bone and rib cage. After those push-ups, this usually feels pretty good. And then come back to the top, switch it up, grab your right wrist with your left hand, stretch up nice and tall, take a deep inhale. Exhale, lean over to the left, create that space in the right side of your body, and look underneath your right arm. Come all the way back to the top, release your grip, take a deep inhale. Exhale, find a little back bend, go close to your arms, lift your chest, and feel that stretch through the front line of your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Plant your palms, step your feet back to a plank. Breathe in, breathe out, set your knees down. So now you're in tabletop. Walk your hands over to the right. Breathe in, breathe out, pull your hips to the left. Crawl your fingers forward, grip the ground, and pull your shoulders down your back. You're going to get deeper into your lats and under your arms. And walk your hands through center over to the left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull your hips to the right. Crawl your fingers forward. Grip the ground. Pull your shoulders back to deepen that stretch. Bring it back to the center. Crawl through. You're coming all the way down your back. All the way down. And here you're going to take a supine half pigeon right away. Bend your left knee, cross your right ankle over, flex your foot, and push your knee forward. When you push your knee forward, you might start to feel that piriformis kind of stretch or move a little. Okay, so it's that little divot right behind your hip on the side of your butt. If you want more into your glute, you can pull the left thigh in. That's going to get like that underside of your butt cheek and into your hamstring a tiny bit more, less in the piriformis. When you keep the foot grounded and just push the knee forward, that's getting more into that little side of your hip. So you can choose whichever feels better to you, or you can do both and just continue to stretch after we're done here. That's completely fine as well. The piriformis is so funny because when it tightens up, it's connected to things in your lower back. So sometimes when you have lower back pain, it's actually coming from the outsides of your hips. So foam rolling is phenomenal for that. Stretching it out as we're doing is also really, really great. But just know that sometimes when we feel something like that, it is not necessarily coming from that part of our body. All right, for time's sake, we're switching legs. Of course, you can stay, as I said. Cross the opposite ankle over, flex your foot, push your knee forward. Feel that stretch right behind the hip. And you can stay here if you like. You can pull the right leg in. Whatever feels better on this side of your body. But as you stretch it out, slow down your breath. Start to find that calm, that relaxation spreading through your body. And a couple more breaths. All right. And then release your leg if you were pulling it in. You could windshield wiper your knees a little from side to side, see how that feels on your lower back. You could take a quick happy baby if you want for your hips. And I want you to start to arrange your body into a shape for Savasana. If you like to do that little squeeze before we go, be my guest. Otherwise, just spread out, take up space. Take a few deep breaths. Just kind of letting go, letting your body settle into that stillness. Feel it grow heavy on the floor. And at the beginning of practice, I asked you to think of something you wanted to let go of. Because when we carry around these things that do not serve us, they grow heavy. This world is heavy enough on its own. We don't need those little things pulling us along with it. And lately, myself, more and more, I've really just been looking at how I can lighten that load that I feel like I'm carrying all the time. And it's a really intentional thing that you have to do, letting go sometimes, because we just carry these things as part of our stories. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. But when you let go of these things and you free up a little space, you have a little extra space in you, you have a little extra light in you, and you can fill it with whatever you want, right? So you're creating this space for joyful things, for these happy memories, for this bright light. And that is huge. It's so, so wonderful. So I want you to think of that thing that you thought of at the beginning of class, that thing that you're ready to let go of. And maybe if it's a bigger thing, it's just taking a tiny little piece of it. You're slowly going to chip away, and that's fine too, but you see it clearly in your mind. And you clear all of the air out of your lungs. And you take a deep breath in and fill all the way up. And with gratitude, a great big open mouth exhale as you send it out into the universe. It no longer serves you, and it's ready to go. You can stay here as long as you like. Soak it all up. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And to you, I vow, namaste.